This is the Tier 3 debrief. We have 9 Tuesday classes scheduled. The first one was, I think, March 30th. It was this past Tuesday, and it's now Sunday, so I apologize. It's taken me a while to do the debrief. Tier 3 is the waitlisted group for our first 6-week program that we had. And thank you guys for sticking with it, getting re-signed up again for the 9-week Tuesday class, and we're really glad you're there. At our first practice, we talked about thank yous, thanking JJ, Coach Brian, the San Diego Yacht Club junior members, the part of the Tier 1 group who spent a lot of time working on these donated boats. The whole program came together in just a matter of weeks, and a lot of good things happened. We had boats donated to us, a lot of gear donated, so we've really grown a lot. A lot of thank yous, especially those San Diego Yacht Club junior board members and 29er sailors who helped us so much. We talked about the schedule. The schedule is Tuesdays for the next 8 weeks, and you can show up anytime after 2:30. Class officially starts at 3:30. We're going to spend very little time on land, but we are going to be rushing those on-land drills. We're going to try to get on the water, especially when the wind is good. The goals for our first class here at the tier 3 level is you guys to enjoy your first experiences. We have a lot of experience running newer sailors into the boat, and it can be very frustrating, and we're trying to help you with that. We have a lot of experience with knowing how it goes in these boats. So that's our goal, number one goal, make you guys enjoy this. Safety. We are going to talk a lot about safety. The boats bring a different level of safety. I had a parent say to me a few weeks back, why are you so worried about, why are you telling me all these safety dangers in 29ers? And it's because it's serious business. These boats have a higher level of injury factor, and flat out, we don't want anybody to have anything bad happen. So I know everybody, I'm not trying to scare anybody by being upfront about safety. Our goals are to learn a lot. So remember that. Your goal is not to become a 29er racer in the next, 8 classes necessarily. Your goals are to learn a lot, and the boats are going to enhance your sailing. So that is a big goal of ours, is that you take the skills you're learning in the 29er, and it enhances your Sabbath sailing, your 420 sailing, your laser sailing, your high school sailing. We take advantage of all the benefits of the boat. Teamwork is a big goal. All of us working together, be willing to switch positions, be willing to sail on somebody else's boat, whatever we ask. We're one big team. And our final goal here for the 29er, and we're not just building a big race team here, you guys. We're building something where you want to go sailing more. So more sailing with no coach. Okay? Get out and just want to go. That's what one of our big goals. We want you to just look out the window. Oh, it's windy. I'm going to get my friends together. I'm going to go sailing. And that will make us better racers in the future. We talked about being responsible. So you have 2 things. You have to be at class on Tuesdays. And if you're not able to do that, you're essentially going to let down somebody. You're going to let your teammate down. As coaches, we'll try to find somebody or to pair you up with someone, but it's really your job. You've signed up, you got to show up. If you're not going to show up, you got to find somebody to sail that day who's safe. And so we can't just accept anybody. We have to have somebody who we know is going to be able to go out there and handle the boat. We're not going to put anybody in a situation where they're not safe, which would be somebody who does not know what they're doing. You need some experience as a racer, really, to be. So remember that. Have your schedule together. Find a crew if you can't make a practice. Work with us on it. But we cannot guarantee you we're going to be able to match you up with somebody else. Then we talked about safety, having the proper gear, taking care of each other. Okay, when we're out sailing, if you see somebody in our class in danger, or anybody on the water in danger, you're going to go out there, but especially your teammates. Anybody in danger, take care of each other. Drop out of the drill, go over there. We have safety in numbers. So when you go out and sail on your own without a coach, go out with 3 boats. Stay together, work together, be each other's safety boat, essentially. We talked about understanding capsize recovery. Number 1, are you okay? You got to make sure you ask both people are ready to get the boat going. If not, everything else takes a second. You immediately stop everything until both people are okay, obviously. We're focusing on no turtling in this class. Do not think that turtling is okay. It might happen, but please, we're trying to avoid turtling. And then your emotional response. You have to have a heightened level of positivity and I can do attitude when you are capsizing in a 29er and it's breezy. We can't have a person out there who's going to give up or say that they're too tired or something. We have to have our act together when we're in a skiff. Okay, so you've got to go to your happy place or whatever it's going to take. Then we talked about the fundamental differences between a skiff and a normal boat. Essentially, if we floated a Club 420 out off the dinghy dock there, it would sit there for weeks or months with no sails up. If we floated a 29er out there with the daggerboard in, the rudder in, and no sails up, and we floated that 29er out, it would be capsized in a matter of 5 seconds. So that's the fundamental difference between a skiff and what we call a displacement boat. There's no stability in a skiff. You let the boat off the dock with no sails up and the thing will flip right over. A Club 420 might be there for 100 years, I don't know. One of the big differences is on a skiff, if you have the boat set up and you let the mainsail go all the way out, it will often start to rock back and forth. And so one of the fundamental differences between a skiff and other boats is side force. You generally keep the main in or out, but more, pulled in a little. That causes heel to leeward and keeps the boat from rocking and prevents it from death rolling. You'll see people capsize a 29er, get it up, the sail is out all the way, and it immediately capsizes over the other direction. So remember that, side force. You got to have side force on a 29er. A little bit of main in. You can't just leave the main all the way out all the time. Because the boat gets very unstable, starts to rock. This prevents that. This keeps an even keel on the boat. Let's see. Another big difference is we're very sensitive to stern noise. Every boat we're worried about dragging the stern, but a skiff is a boat that's designed for winds that are 9+ knots. And once it gets to 12 knots, ideal probably, and higher than that. So in light air, we have to be extremely far forward in the boat to get the stern out of the water. And if the stern's dragging, it makes a lot of noise. So that's how you know you're too far back. So be very aware of that. It's more important in a skiff to keep the stern out of the water than in a normal design displacement boat. Then we went into basic skipper roles and basic crew roles. We talked about the skipper standing up and the crew crouched on the balls of their feet in the pre-start. How to do the main and the jib in the pre-start. Then we talked about the upwind skipper position and the upwind crew position. It was going to be very light, so we talked about the crew position in front of the mast going upwind. We talked about crew position downwind, straddling the mast in this lighter air and moving in and out from there, and the skipper primarily on their bottom or in that Mickey Mouse position we talked about where they're on a knee and one on the ball of their other foot. We talked about how to put the spinnaker up and down and the roles of each and didn't get too in depth. We did this all in about 20 minutes and you guys did extremely well on the water. After only that little bit of a time of a brief, we really didn't break it down too much. And on the water, we talked about slow speed maneuvering, kind of a pre-start mode where you learn the balance and flat. Those were things that we emphasized a lot, just physical balance in the boat, keeping the boat upright and balanced, and generally keeping the boat flat with occasional roll tacks and roll jibes to pop the battens. But balance and flat were two words that we used a lot. not heeling the boat a lot, really doing these slow speed maneuvers with the boat essentially flat. We did the figure 8 drill, tacking and jibing around. And then we had a race. Man, we finished late, didn't we? I think we finished at 6:40. Class was supposed to end at 6, so I think we finished at 6:40. But that race was really good. It was really fun to watch. Okay, we have a class on Tuesday. Make sure you've got your proper gear. Make sure you got your wetsuit already partially on when you show up. Have your trap harness ready. Have gloves. Everybody, you gotta start using gloves pretty much all the time. I'm tired of hearing kids' hands hurt and stuff. You just can't, it's just wear gloves. You're gonna sail in Europe or in the Midwest in cold weather. You gotta get good at using gloves, so do that. We recommend a knife. Look up that. Brian can help us with that on Tuesday. What's the best knife to carry for each crew member? A whistle. Please try to have a whistle tied onto your life jacket. And then a VHF radio, 1 per boat would be great. If you do have a VHF, it's a good safety thing to have with each other, but the coaches talk on the VHF so you can get ahead on the drills. When you show up, rig quickly. Okay, when you show up on Tuesday, drain the boat first. Always remember, there's 2 plugs on 29ers. Always remember that. Then you do the forestay without twisting it on the spinnaker halyard or the jib halyard. Mostly the spinnaker halyard gets twisted. Also, the spinnaker sheets have to be in front of the forestay when you hook it on. The starboard spinnaker sheet. Then you do the jib next. Then you do the main next. Then you put the spinnaker, you rig the spinnaker next, and you hoist it on land. Every single time, this is the order. Then we'll do an on-land drill. We'll talk about several things, including popping the battens, trapezing, and the main sheet trim coordination. We'll talk about basic sail trim, getting the main and the jib in the ballpark settings. Generally not too much twist, but not strapped on the sails. We'll talk a little bit about communication now. And for most of you, your next regatta is May 15th and 16th. Cabrillo Beach and Club 420. So I need you guys, if you're going to sail 420s, you need to get online, find the notice of race, get registered. You don't have a 29er regatta coming up. So that's your next regatta. Club 420s, Cabrillo Beach, May 15, 16. Get signed up. Sign up as the teams if you want. If you need a boat or whatever, let's talk about it. Okay, good job, everybody. We'll see you Tuesday.